So where I want to focus today is really sharing our vision for the future of consumer neurotech. We spend a lot of time thinking about the direction that we want to take our product in. And I think we've latched onto something really important and meaningful for the industry that I want to go through with you all today. So I'm going to run you through the story of Eno and kind of how it came to be. And that's mostly from my story. I back about a decade ago, I was in university and I was tutoring math and science, as many engineers will. And I became obsessed with the question of why the students I was teaching, despite being very smart and very driven, were failing all of their classes. In my mind, those two things are dichotomous and something's got to give. And so I spent about 3 years in university really researching the psychology of learning, the process of taking information and breaking it down and consolidating it into memory, and then using that memory to retrieve it when you want to execute on your tasks or tests or whatever it may be. And at the same time, I was attending these neurotech meetups where people were using a Muse device or the emotive device and measuring using EEG different brain signatures in order to interpret what was going on in people's brains. And by combining those two things, there was the consumer neurotech side of these meetups where they're using these accessible devices to try and measure your brain, and the literature side of the psychology and the neuroscience of the brain. It struck me with this dichotomy of what people were doing in consumer neurotech. Let's say using a Muse headband to design a shirt with LEDs that lights up based on your mood, just didn't have the same weight and the same potential and the same life-changing impact that I was seeing occur in clinical neurotechnology with 64 sensor caps where they could detect neural states incredibly accurately, and they could design neurofeedback programs that were life-changing. And it's really at this point that we realized the future of neurotech and consumer neurotech in particular is not going to be based on the data that we're given. It's going to be based on the user experiences we're able to create from that data. And in my opinion, at the time, 6 years ago, the user experiences driven by neurotech weren't living up to the standard that I could see in academia.